it's April, and I am back live streaming this Sunday. Uh, I'm pretty sure it's going to go better than last Sunday. I'm not entirely sure what happened with that, but we are here now, and we are going to complete at least the sky of this page today. Good vibes. I'm sending out good vibes. I will re-show you how I did this down here. I know that's no longer up on the internet because it didn't record the way it was supposed to record, but I will be doing that with the clouds up at the top. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm glad you could make it. But this stream is going to be epic. It's going to be great. I just know it. We're going to get so much done. I'm excited. I'm just drinking my coffee because I can. Okay, so I am also going to go, and I'm going to go tweet this out real quick. So that all of my Twitter people know that we're live now. There we go. And then we'll just put that down. Okay. Welcome, Isabel. Okay, so the colors I'm using for the sky right now. I've got B95, which is the light grayish cobalt, and I'm autofocusing out on you guys. Sorry about that. I've got B97, which is night blue. I've got C7, which is the cool gray 7. I have C9, which is the cool gray 9, and I have the C00, which is, of course, the cool gray 00. So this cool gray 00, I have actually already used at the top of all of these clouds. You can't really see it, but it's there. I turned autofocus on. I don't know why it's attempting to autofocus on me. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can lock this in real quick. Okay. And then down here, I started out with the lightest blue, and I've gone to the C7, and now I'm going to add the C9 and bring it pretty far up. I'm probably going to hit the top of these real quick with the C7 because I'm going to blend it down as well. But it's going to go immediately from the C00 to the C7 because I want this kind of sharp edge. So I'm going to pull the cap off of this. Put that up there. I'm probably going to need the C00 out so I can do a little bit of blending. Okay. So I'm gonna, first of all, I'm gonna drop every single marker on the floor. That's how my day is starting. Hi, Stephanie! Oh, my gosh, I can't reach her. Short, stubby arms. It's fine. Okay. So the idea is to bring it right under where I have that C00. And I'm probably going to do this part in small sections. So that I can get a feel for what I'm doing because I'm making this up as I go. Because I don't expect to get a blend between these two right here. I might pull one of the other C's down so that it's not quite as harsh, but otherwise I don't want a fade. Just kind of want to and sharpen that line, if that makes sense. And my guess is it's going to look extremely funny for a really long time. That just means you're doing something right. I'm like, I feel like people are talking about me in the chat. Yep. Short arms are just a way of life. The real question is, why wouldn't you marry a T-Rex? That is what you should be asking yourself. There's probably just going to be a light line in here. I'm going to really fade this one out. Just wanted to get that in there. It's like a little cinnamon roll. About there. Really gotta fade that out. Otherwise it's just gonna look a little silly. Here we go. Clouds are something that I'm still sort of trying to figure out. Let's see. Hi, Robin. Today, the topic will be dinosaurs. I like it. I think it's only appropriate since we've got a dragon over here. And all because I dropped a marker and couldn't reach it. I have a feeling by the time this picture is done, this marker is going to have absolutely no ink left in it. Could get the C0 down, I suppose. Oops. Bring all of those up. I needed to go up a little more right here. Truthfully, I probably didn't have to put the white quite over here, since this is an overlap. There's going to be a lot of plug and play, I think. Trying to figure out what whoops, I really want out of these clouds, but that's the great thing about the Copics is, you know, if it doesn't quite look the way you want it, you can just kind of keep layering. Slightly back over there. See if I can get this side a little more blended out like this side over here. Copics blend extremely well. That's the main reason for Copics. The problem is I'm doing such a huge jump between this really light gray and this really dark gray that the blending doesn't want to happen naturally. And like I said, I don't want to get it too faded out. I still want a little bit of a sharp line. Because you know when you look at clouds at night, especially when the moon's like reflecting off of them, you get that top part that has that nice crisp line. Let's see if I can. I have a sort of reference image that I'm working off of. So kind of like this. So you get the moon that just like hits the top of those clouds, and so you get that nice sharp line. I'm sort of attempting something kind of like that. That's kind of what I'm going for. But like I said, I don't precisely know what I'm doing, so at the same time I'm kind of making it up. Which is why I'm starting to think that maybe I wanted to pull the gray all the way up to the top of this part right here. So I know I just wasted a whole bunch of time trying to blend all of that out. But it's just kind of the top of those clouds that I want to hit, and if this is underneath other clouds, you wouldn't get that line. So maybe I'll blend that back out. And then I'm going to bring the C9 out, and I'm going to start bring in some of this area to a slightly darker point, because most of this inside here is going to be that C9 dark gray. Because something about this picture just screamed for me to make it moody. So I'm going to pull some of this down. Got the C7 right now, and I'm trying to blend between the two, and I'll probably bring that B97 back out so that I can get some of that in on the action as well. Basically, it's just a game of building all of this up. And I'm going to try and do it without coloring over the crystals I've already done. And because I'm always using the lighter color first when I use Copics, my light colors are always the ones that die first. I get most of my coloring books off of Amazon. At least I first found Kirby Rosehand's books, who's the artist who did this Geomorphia book. Found him at Walmart first, so every once in a while I can find him at Walmart, but Amazon mostly. Okay, I'm like, is this the C9? I'm just gonna actually go all the way in on this one. Some of that up, and then use the light to bring some of that back down. I think I'm going to start from the bottom since I'm just going to be filling all of this in with this C9 anyways. Backgrounds are always the pieces that terrify me the most. Whoops! Well, just got that all over my jeans. There you go. Hi, Cassie. Okay. The problem with having so many, you know what, I'm going to go back and I'm going to fill these in real quick. The problem with having so many open Copics in your hand is grabbing the right one and then dropping the open one on your pants. I have a nice gray mark across the top of my jeans right now. Go figure. That's okay. They are my holy jeans anyways, so they're the ones I usually wear when I'm not planning on being particularly careful about what I do for the day. Oh, it's just so dark and moody and I like it. Just imagine what this is going to look like once we outline all of the crystals like we did this one over here. That's going to be amazing. Yeah, Kat, I'm, like I said, most of the time I don't do backgrounds. But Kirby put these clouds in place and it's hard to tell where one starts and one ends. And I don't think I can just color some of the clouds. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to push myself to do this whole background. We'll see how it goes. I'm also contemplating putting some stars in some places as well. So I'm gonna attempt to do some of that. This is a C9, yes it is. Okay. Bring the C7 down. I'll get some of this lighter stuff. To push some of that color back, which there's this whole section right here that I don't think is cloud, which is what I want to color in that dark black and put some stars in. I think that'll be cool. No, Brock still hasn't put out his long video yet. I'm still waiting for that as well. I think he's got other projects that he's working on, so I think he got that short video out. And then I don't know if he's going to do like a really long video or if he's going to do some kind of live stream. So yeah, I've been keeping track. I've been watching his channel, watching to see if he puts out that long video, but he hasn't yet, sadly. So I know there isn't any light colors in this, but I'm going to use it anyways. So we can get a little bit of a change going on. Okay. Making me nervous to go into some of these smaller sections. go back with that C7. Just gonna go over that line just a little bit. But I think it's gonna be that B97 that really blends those all out. Might have to open the B95 too. Just gonna have all of the markers open. This is a coloring page from Kirby Rosan's Geomorphia. This was, I think, the newest book that he released last year sometime. I got this off of Amazon. I have the link down in the description if you want to get it yourself and you don't want to go searching for it. I'm glad you could stop in, Robin. So, yeah, that's what this book is. Okay, so this is 95. So I'm gonna lightly pull that a little further and smooth that line out. There we go. And then the rest of it is just going to be not that color for sure. That's the 00. This is going to be, the rest of this in here is all going to be the C9. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this section. Hopefully without coloring some of this in. And I'm going to try and keep, what I'm going to do is, first of all, so my other markers don't dry out, is I'm going to put the lids back on these ones. I'm probably going to open them up again so that I can smooth out the background a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to, that's the one I'm using, cap these, because I did find a dried out Copic the other day, and it made me really, really sad. So now I have to rebuy my E09 because I destroyed the tip. There's no ink in it, so it really doesn't make sense to keep the marker. So I'm just going to buy a new barrel and start all over. Okay, like I said, it's going to look a little liney for a little while, but I'm going to come back through and blend all of that out. I just want to get the first coat down. That and get into some of these like little tiny groove spots. And I love the brush tip of Copics, but sometimes they're a little bigger than I want them to be. I'm just gonna outline all of this real quick. bring that down. Looks messy, I know. It'll get better, I promise. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to try and get rid of those lines. So we're gonna get more ink down. This is where it gets a little bit tedious. I'm kind of going for that smooth background look. So it's a little easier to do in smaller areas for obvious reasons. Just kind of darkening some of these spots up just a little bit by adding a little more of the ink at the base and feathering up. Okay. Still got a little bit of this mottled look going on, but I don't think it's too bad. Kind of let it do a little bit of drying, but I'm going to come back in with the C7 towards these edges again. I'm going to repeat a lot of that blending out that we did earlier. And then I need the B97. Told you we were going to bring these back out. Okay. I think it's going to be the B95 that really sells the blend. Hair in my face. Probably should have pulled my hair up before we started. There we go. And we can do a little blending down as well. So I've got the C7 in my hand. I'm blending down into that C9. That C00, 0. I'll bring that down again as well. I mean, you still have some of that modeling going on, but for the most part, it's not too bad. I'll kind of carry on over here, and then we'll start to do some of these clouds, these smaller clouds, which it'll be easier than trying to fill these whole sections right here. I just get a little impatient with bigger areas. So sometimes they're a little harder for me to do. And try not to accidentally completely color in this wizard. He's just got so much fine detail in him. Yeah, he hides little things in there. Copics are my favorite to work with, simply because they're alcohol based, so they're easier. Excuse me. So they're easier to get the blends that I really like to work with. At least marker-wise, they're the ones that I enjoy using the most. But my Polychromos colored pencils, especially in conjunction, I actually use my Polychromos over top of the colors on these crystals. So when I'm working with colored pencils, those are the ones that I like to work with the most because they're an oil-based colored pencil. And so I can get a lot more layers, and they can build up a lot more than you can with, say, wax based colored pencils. But I mean, even if you're looking at alcohol markers for the blending, I just tried, what are they? Oh, I can't remember what they are. Excuse my reach. I just tried these Spectrum Noir Illustrator dual tip alcohol based markers. It's got a brush tip, which is why I like them, but they work really well as well. And they are not nearly as pricey as the Copics are. So I might see if I can get maybe a few more of these just to play around with. Oh, that's exciting, Cassie. Yeah, no, I love my Polychromos. They have a gold Faber line that is the artist level, or the student artist level of the Polychromos that are pretty good too, that I think feel nice to use as well. In fact, I was just starting to do the color sheet for those ones, my color swatches. And then I got a little distracted. But I'm thinking as soon as I get all of my color swatches done, that I'm going to do a video that I show all of my color swatches. So you can kind of see what I do. Get in those little couple of crevices. Okay, kind of outline those a little bit. This is going to be an interesting one to try and get rid of those lines for. I'm probably going to have to buy new ink for my C9. By the time this picture is done. But what's going to be really fun is if we look at the back of this page after I get this section done, just so you can see how that color is bleeding into that paper. I always like looking at the back of the page, especially when I'm using alcohol markers and I know it's bled out to the other side. The reason I like this coloring book by Kirby, because it's the first one that was only single-sided, so I didn't have to worry about ruining what was on the back. get that C7 open again. Let's see, I'll probably start with blending this bottom part out, since there's more colors. Oh goodness. It's just so dry here. Okay, we've got 97. What is going on with this 97? But it seems to be acting up a little bit. We got the 95. Okay, and what we had the 7 up here. Bring that down a little bit. Okay, and then I think I used a little bit of the C00 to kind of lighten a little bit of that top part out. And we can use that to pull some of the blends together. Which is what I'm going to do. Okay. Start to let that all blend out a little bit. Okay, I think. Okay. So this is, I think I want to do this small little section right here, which means I probably shouldn't have capped my marker, but okay. So we're just gonna work the this area. With the glue coming off the binding. Z0 out. That's the chisel tip. On this picture, okay, I started this picture the end of January last year. This is part 18, and I usually spend between 2 and 3 hours per stream working on that. So let's say I average about okay, so 18 times 2 is what? 36. Plus you can probably add a couple more hours. So at least 40 hours so far have gone into this picture. Mostly because the crystals were a lot of tedious work. So far today I've only been working on it for an hour. Okay, put yeah, it has been a project and a half getting this picture done. I started out doing it being like, oh, it'll be no problem. I'll get it done in a couple of months and I'll move on. And here we are, a year later, on part 18 of, I'm hoping, only 19. I'm hoping, fingers crossed that we get this done next week. Part of me would like to get it done before February, because I have some other projects that I think you guys will really like and that I want to get started on. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want to force it. I don't know, something about that swirl, I kind of like how that one turned out. Yeah, Kirby pictures take me forever. So I never do more than one at a time. And I go in knowing full well I'm probably going to spend several weeks, if I'm not doing it on stream, in a corner by myself doing it. But if I'm on stream, I know it's going to be a dedicated project. But Joseph Kattenbaum is the same way for me. He also does these intricate ones. And I have spent quite a while on several live streams doing some of his work as well. But there's something like satisfying about these kind of pieces. I have it in my hand. Looking for the 00, and I have it in my hand. There we go. Okay, so then we have a few of these clouds where we can pull these blues back in. So the bottom of these clouds, I always want to do in these blues. So that was the 95. And then the next one up, of course, is the 97. Just gonna do a light line for that. And then we got the C7 that will kind of touch around there. And then we got C9, which won't take up a lot of area, but we know the dark is there. So I'm going to bring the C95 up so we can blend that line a little bit. And then I'll get the C00 and I'll bring that down. Might have made that blue line a little too big. So I might go over a lot of that with C7. Bring that a little further down. Yeah, that's what the back of the page looks like. Okay, so I went a little crazy with the blues, so I'm kind of pushing some of that blue out. Just a little bit. And so what I'll do is, like I said, I think lighten a lot of this up. Okay. So I think what I've learned from doing that one is I kind of just want a light line. We'll take a equally as light line. I think my 97 is starting to gum up a little bit, which is not good. Come in with 7. Goodness. Also a little bit of white that's going on. E9. Lost track of where the 00 was. Uh-oh. Nisibis is up and awake. What do you need, Kit Kat? Must not have been important, because she decided I wasn't worth it. Yeah? Yeah, you know where I'm at, precious. I'm going to use the C00 to blend all of those blues. Because I want it a little lighter. Yeah? You gonna come and say hi to everybody? Yeah? There we go. I kind of like how that's turning out. Hi. What do you got, Kit Kat? It's like she's making noise, but she doesn't want to come over here. Okay. Okay, I like that. Now I think for the most part, I don't think there's probably some blues and stuff over here that I'll do. Hi, baby girl. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. But I think most of this is going to be like grays and stuff. I might hint at a little blues after I get this all finished and I get a feel for what it looks like. You gonna come up? But otherwise, yeah. So I'm gonna switch over to this side, get the blues done, cap the blues, and then fill in the rest of those clouds, and then I'll get my pure black and I'll fill that in that area right there, and so we can get a feel for how that true black feels against these grays. Hi. You gonna just sit on my lap? Cattail! Okay, let's see if I can do this with a cat on my shoulder. Okay, so what we did is we added just a line of blue. Got the darker blue that, oh, I think it's starting to come up. Oh, not good, not good, not good. You can't tell if it's because I'm running out of ink or if it's because it's just being a butt. So what I'm gonna do, so that I can turn around and just close these real quick. So I'm going to do all of the lines of blue. Just going to add a little bit of blue to the bottom of those curves. And then I'm going to cap them because, like I said, this darker blue is starting to feel gummy. It might be because I'm sitting here with them open. Okay. There we go. Okay. So then we've got was probably supposed to be a little white there. Move these out of the way. And then we can come back in. Set up where those lights are gonna be. Bring that around. I'm gonna do the same on this one. I forgot about this one. And then fill in the gaps with the 9. Cap both of these real quick. I'm gonna go in with a Z00. Blend all of that out. So what I'm really wondering is if I should add a little bit of light blue at the end of that curl so it kind of flows with the blue that comes off of here. I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Fun part about clouds, they don't necessarily have to be perfect. Because they've always got a texture to them anyways. Gonna pull it through the whole thing, because why not? Yeah, I think I'm gonna add tiny little piece of blue to that, and then I'm gonna fade it out. Kind of like that. So it's there, and it kind of flows with the rest of it. Starting to realize that you guys have a slightly different look because of how the camera is like washing out those darker tones. Okay, let's get the C7 and the C9 open again. Okay. This is so this is going to be the C9. Might go through and lightly add some blue to that too, but I don't know. We'll see how it looks first. because so I don't have to worry about going over the edge. Come over here, do this side real quick, and then I'll hit all of it with the C00. Thank you for stopping in, Cassie. Sorry, I'm kind of missing a little bit of what's going on in the chat. Getting super involved in almost getting these clouds done. Okay. Take this. See? Hit all those light spots real quick. Start getting the... I went a little too far. Let a little bit. Maybe we can force that out a little bit. What, right here? I have to get the colorless blender if I want to get that, but it doesn't look too bad. Ah! Just gonna throw the marker. Ah! Exactly. Well, and I'm of the opinion, if you have it, don't hoard it. Use it. They're meant to be used. You buy them to use them, right? So if it just so happens that I ruin a marker or things are going sideways, buying new markers isn't a bad thing. Thank you, Kat. Don't know if I'm 100% happy with how these clouds are. But I think it is a good start. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of just a touch of blue. Just because I like how that blue just adds a little bit of a something. And I feel like the camera is washing everything out just a little bit, so when I take a picture of it after I'm done here, you can start to see a little bit of the truer tones of what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna pull the black real quick. Probably should have pulled it earlier. Okay, where is my black? Oh. There's a few places where I think things are a little messy and probably be cleaned up a touch. I was trying to blend that out and then it just unblended itself, which is not helpful. It's fine. Okay, I'm just gonna go in with this black. So this is just 100. That's all it is. 100 black. Maybe what I need to do is to get some of my colored pencils out and really get that blend of those clouds. I don't know. It might be something I have to sleep on, because maybe I'll come back to it tomorrow and be like, actually, I kind of like how that turns out. Hi, baby boy. So once you get those black in, or that black in there, you can see how underneath that and over top of that just start to pop. That up a little bit. I'm gonna color off the edge again. Yeah, I can't. Gillyweed is up and about. Can't tell if he's just hearing noises outside, so he's getting restless, or what. That, and it's about time for their lunchtime treat. And we're probably just gonna sort of lose this little wisp since it's just a line, but that's okay. I'm not gonna be too careful with it. couple times and try and get a true matte black out of it. I have contemplating getting the Copic 110, which is an even deeper black. If that is at all possible. Yes. I feel like this is getting washed out. Let's see if I can bring the we're gonna lose it a little bit if we do that. Yeah, no. To wait for the picture to get some of the true effect of what's going on. I am going to not do that. Go over a little bit of these to smooth it out a little bit more with the C9. See if we can bring some of that back down. Kind of get a rich tone, kind of like we just did with that black. Just work it a touch bit more. I don't want to necessarily overwork it, but just feel like we can just make that slightly better than it is. There we go. And then I'll add a few stars for that background. pretty much trying to oversaturate this page so that the lines just feather out, because there's nowhere in the paper for it to just sit. Thank you, Kat. All I can say is years of practice and many an art class. I think the hellhound sees a puppy dog. What is it, baby boy? Albus? I think the neighbor dogs are playing without him. He's not happy about it. Smooth out some of these. Hard lines. Deepen it up a little bit, because I think maybe we got a little too light in sections, because these are still dark clouds. So a lot of times I just keep working it until it becomes something that I think works. I mean, but I have to find that balance of not overworking it, because I can very easily do that. Yeah, drawing, I mean, I can draw. I don't have the imagination to draw something that I'm not looking at. And it isn't a skill set I have worked on in a very long time. It's been years. But there's something about coloring that I just find soothing. And I'm okay with coloring in other people's work, which is why I enjoy coloring books so much. Okay, I think I'm kind of gonna let that sit. let that percolate. See if there's any, ooh. However, as I sit here and look at it and see some of these patchy parts, bring some of that contrast back. You get some rich tones in there. Okay, I have a Posca 0.7mm pen that I really like for this kind of work. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, yes, shake it a little bit. And I'm just gonna kind of freckle the sky a little bit. I'm also gonna do some cross stars. Trying not to make it too uniform. But I'm also oh look, shooting stars. Because why not? I'm going to come back and I'm going to make a few of these a little bigger. Maybe add in a few more cross stars. Okay, so I started a little cluster here. Kind of like a starry night sky. Real question is, I've been here for 2 hours. I think I'm going, oh, I know for sure. I'm gonna color in these real quick. Thought maybe I might do the wizard today, but I don't think so. I think we'll just save the wizard and the dragon for next weekend. And then start the process of outlining all these stars. I'm actually going to darken out these birds. I'm going to fade a little bit into the night sky, but that's kind of what I want. And we have these objects right here. I'm just gonna, and then we got a toothbrush, we got a bird cage and a toothbrush. So if you're doing the I Spy game, oops, that's not the color I want. that goes along with these coloring pages. This page has the toothbrush and the birdcage. I'm kind of just making them gray because I don't want them to stand out in any way. Kind of not the point of these pages. Okay, so like I said, I'm probably going to leave these two to next week, and then I'm going to continue. I'm just going to do one more of these crystals. So I can start to get a feel for what they look like when we've got more than one traced. That is going to be magical. It's going to be intense, but it's going to be magical. Okay, so that is where I'm going to end the live stream today. I will be back next weekend to finish this page. My goal is to finish this page. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm going to finish this page. But I want to thank all of you guys for joining me today. I really appreciated you guys hanging out and chatting with me and keeping me sane as I continued this page. I will take a picture of this and put it up on Instagram and Twitter and in the community tab of YouTube in case you want to see how a non-washed out version of this looks like. And I'll have that up fairly soon. But thank you guys once again for joining me. I hope to see you guys next week, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.